Don't sleep. Stay woke, man. Stay woke. I wake somebody else up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about something that's going on right now. Fentanyl is out here spreading, killing people like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all a little history lesson, man. Maybe we can change some lives today.
Ben Westhoff is an investigative journalist and leading expert on the emerging synthetic drugs market. He went undercover, infiltrating the labs in China where
The labs in China where fentanyl is being made at. It's not made right here. Yeah, yeah.
this drug is being produced on an industrial scale.
On an industrial scale, not in a trap house. You know what I'm saying? They making this in a factory.
Ben, welcome to News on Drugs.
Thanks for
And the drug dealers don't look like the. Come on, man.
having me.
So
Hey,
for
whoa.
anyone who doesn't know, what is fentanyl and how is it different than heroin?
Fentanyl is a synthetic
Class is in session.
opioid that basically acts on the same receptors in
Pay
the
attention.
brain as heroin, morphine, opium, all that. The thing is, it's about 50 times stronger than heroin, and
50 times stronger than heroin, man. Is this what y'all on, man? Come on, man. Man, stay woke.
only 2 milligrams of fentanyl is enough to potentially make
2 milligrams. You know how big 2 milligrams is, man? A dab, a drop. Come on.
someone overdose.
And how
Man, about the same as an eye drop, man. Come on, man.
did you personally end up investigating this drug in particular?
I had a friend who died from fentanyl patches. He was misusing them in 2010. He overdosed and died.
Damn, part.
Later, I was doing reporting on the rave scene, doing a story about why so many people
Yeah, that's where the monkeypox came from, too. Yeah, and them raves going crazy.
were dying at raves. This was very,
I'll do a lot in them raves, man. Y'all need to calm down, man.
very strange because all the deaths were attributed to ecstasy. But I had been in the rave scene myself and never known ecstasy to be a particularly
Ecstasy, that
dangerous
kill
drug.
nobody, man. Made a
So
bunch
I
of
went down
holy.
the rabbit hole and learned that there was no pure MDMA really on the scene at all anymore. And all of the so-called ecstasy was being adulterated with these new synthetic chemicals.
So ecstasy left, and they made synthetic drugs, which means, fake drugs. So fake drugs been around for a minute. All this stuff y'all taking, man.
And they're called NPS, novel psychoactive substances. They were all made in a lab, and they were all made in China. And almost no one knew anything about them. And so I went and found out that fentanyl was the most
He said all made in China. All.
deadly among them all.
So we hear a lot about fentanyl in the news right now.
Oh, dude.
But there's actually kind of a more interesting and complex backstory to this drug than most people are aware of, right?
Fentanyl was invented in 1959 by a Belgian chemist, and he was looking for an alternative to morphine for hospital procedures like open heart surgery. And the benefit of
scientist.
fentanyl is that it came on much faster, and also it went away faster. The problem is, though, the same thing that makes fentanyl a great drug for hospital use makes it a bad drug for illicit
Because it's killing people, man. Come on, man.
use. And that's because with heroin, if you take a dose, you won't need another one for most of the day.
It's not the heroin addicts I know. They on that shit crazy.
But fentanyl fades off so quickly
They sweating hard. Look. Fentanyl got that boy sweating.
that users have to re-up in 2 or 3 hours.
So the key moment in fentanyl's emergence is the North American opioids crisis. Can we look at how that kind of drove the explosion of synthetic opioids?
The only 2 major countries
The only 2 major countries.
that have ever had a fentanyl problem are the US and Canada.
So if it's coming from China, why don't China have a fentanyl problem? I mean, stay woke.
What US and Canada have in common is that we had this opioid overprescription crisis. And so we've all heard about the
The Sackler family,
Sackler family, Purdue Pharma, overprescribing
mad scientists,
opioids like OxyContin.
overprescribing.
That set the table for millions of new opioid users.
Biggest drug dealers in the world.
When their prescriptions ran out, they found themselves addicted to opioids. And so they filled this craving the only way they could, which was by buying heroin on the street.
Man.
And eventually, there was basically not enough heroin to meet this demand. And so fentanyl basically rushed in to fill this void.
That's crazy.
And before long, there was a point where you couldn't find any heroin that wasn't cut with fentanyl.
All heroin.
And it was these fake pharmaceutical pills that led to the death of musicians like Prince, right?
Yeah, Prince and Tom
Prince and Tom Petty. Look, we're gonna talk about Prince on another one, you know what I'm saying?
Petty both took what they thought were actual pharmaceutical pills, but were actually cut with fentanyl.
Mm.
And that just goes to show that even
That boy Prince, man. They killed that man on fentanyl, man.
people with a lot of money can't get the real thing anymore. The fentanyl has just utterly infiltrated the drug supply.
So who's actually making fentanyl?
The precursor chemicals are made in China.
Okay.
So these are the most important chemical ingredients to make fentanyl. And these chemicals are shipped on to Mexico, and the cartels finish the fentanyl to make the final product.
So it's made in China, shipped to Mexico, and then smuggled into the United States. But Mexico don't have a fentanyl problem. China don't have a fentanyl problem. Come on, man. Don't sleep, man. Stay woke.
And it's sent it across the border.
Yeah.
There are plenty of black market drug manufacturers in China who make every sort of.
But man, I just want y'all, you know what I'm saying, don't sleep and stay woke. Man, y'all can go research it and check it out yourself, man. Drop something in the comments, something. Let me know what y'all think about that. Do your research, man, and see what's really going on out here, man. It's all a big setup. It's all a big setup. Think about it. Come on, man. Don't sleep, man. Stay woke, man. Stay woke.